um, process, and as you're teaching this whole thing, are you suggesting a founder go out and do all this work, or are you suggesting them just hire a sales team instantly and push them out the door to go get sales?
Yeah, well, this is part of, my experience is I think the founder needs to do it. You are absolutely the first person in your business who needs to sell. One, for the validation aspects, two, for understanding your customers. But how, think about your business 5, 10 years from now. 5 years from now. Think about your business 5 years from now, and you have a sales team of, like, I don't know, 5 reps or something like that, and a couple SDRs and some support people. You're the CEO, ideally still, and you're on a call every Monday with your sales team, and you're doing deal review. And you're not going to be very good or effective at deal review with your sales team, who represents the lifeblood of your business.
Right.
You haven't done that. And so if you've been in their shoes and you understand what they're doing, you're a much better coach, you're a much better leader, but you're also way better at forecasting. You'll be able to look at the pipeline, call BS, you know, your feet are held to the fire for the projections and for the forecasts that you're making. So you need to really be able to stand behind them and say, our forecasts are accurate, and I know they are because X, versus being like, my forecasts are accurate and I know they are because my sales team told me they are.
Right.
Your sales team probably is on commission, and they get bonused by, probably driving up higher forecasts. So
At what point does that shift? At what point, and we're talking about, we're really focusing on like the startup, the early stage, just trying to get the first 100,000, 200,000 in revenue. What stage do they hire on even some reps and or a head of sales that would take over that process?
I wouldn't hire a head of sales until sometimes you just meet the right person. And, timing is never, you always have an idea in your head of when that person's going to come along, and sometimes it's sooner. So I would hire the head of sales when you meet the right person. But otherwise, I would hire the head of sales maybe at the point where you are starting to either consider or you are closing your first real round on real, actual, like, preferential, decent terms, not like you're begging around. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of when I would consider doing it, because at that point, that's when. And then there's one other caveat too. Depending on how your business is growing and what it is operations wise, sometimes a side effect of growth is messed up operations internally. And if you're getting to the point where you really, really need to be focusing it more on the operations of the business because of the growth, that might be a good time to bring in either a sales rep or a head of sales to continue driving that growth, so that you can turn inward and keep the company operating and scaling effectively.
Right. Yeah.